Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is just basically going to be another ramble video while I do some work. So, where to begin? So basically this is just going to be about Warhammer Fantasy. So before you click off and think, oh fuck, here we go, another rumour spreader. No. To be honest with you, I've had an absolute fucking tit full of the rumours, so excuse my French. But this rumour these rumours always start when something new is about to be released. And from previous experiences, 90% of it is bullshit. Right? Now, I very much doubt GW are going to scrap a load of armies. They won't do that. Because each of their product lines can generate money. And I can prove that by the fact is that Sisters of Battle are being remade, and I've never met a Sisters or played a Sisters of Battle army, and I know there is quite a high demand out there for them. So before you go, oh my army's gonna get scrapped, oh no, all my time and money, but sack it up, they're not getting fucking scrapped. They may make a compilation of books, like putting all the armies of man into one and all the hordes of chaos into one, so like you would have Beastmen, Chaos, Warriors of Chaos and Demons all in one book, like bigger books with multiple armies in. Yes, they may do that, they may not, but how I can see this, they will be keeping every fucking army on their product line. So sack it up, that's a very unlikely thing. Another thing as well, this skirmisher, the skirmish side of it, the round bases, right? It doesn't matter, okay, right? Because if this rumor is true, you will get bonuses for ranking up normally with fantasy models. So having them butted up like so, you will get bonuses apparently, right? Even if it does become a skirmisher game, there is not that much difference on a round base. And plus, like GW did with Space Marines, with the new bases, they said you don't have to rebase them, you can use the bases they were supplied with. So they're not going to force you to resupply and rebase your entire armies. No, there will be ways around it. You just keep the bases you have. You know, at the end of the day, they can't tell you to rebase your entire army. Some tournament scenes and makers maybe ask and say yes, you must have round bases, but that yet again, if they do have round bases, you can still put them on movement trees, you can still rank up on movement trees. It just takes a bit of conversion, it takes a bit of time and money. That is part of the fucking hobby at the end of the day. That is what this is about. So I have no problem with this having a skirmish side. I think the skirmish side, the fantasy be really, really good. So you could play smaller and much better games, because there's a skirmish smaller game based for 40k, you know, so why can't there be for fantasy? Fantasy needs a giant overhaul. It's always the same. Every edition has been very generic with minor changes. I think it's the magic phase which gets changed majority of the time. The magic phase is fine, but this thing about just moving and charging, moving and charging, moving and charging, moving and charging, I want to see objectives. You gotta like take out certain units, you gotta do this, you gotta hold the line, something like that. And another thing I like to see as well, siege warfare. Siege warfare would be awesome fantasy, because there's so many armies which would be great at it. I would like to see a mercenary side to fantasy, where you could take militia bowmen for armies which don't even have range attacks. Like Warriors of Chaos, the only thing they have range is they're throwing spears mounted on horsemen. Things like this. Add more to the game. Don't whine about it. They're trying to make the game better for you. They're trying to make money, and they're trying to make you buy the product. And I think by this change, it's going to make the game a lot more interesting, a lot more fun, and a lot more appealing. Because I rarely go out and play fantasy, because the thing I want gone the most is character wars and one block core armies. One core block armies ruin the game, where you come to a table, nice painted army. Like I'd have my 3 units of Chaos Warriors, Marauder Horsemen, my Gore Beast, maybe a couple of Knights and some Spawn. You know, nice field full. Not 100-man unit of spears, some cavalry, a hero, and a wizard. That is utterly fucking boring. It is. There's just no flexibility to the game. Then you've basically got, right, my core unit's going to charge their core unit for a big prolonged fight, then my special is going to try and take out their special, and my rare is going to try and take out their rare. Yada yada yada. Something like that. That's killing the game, because there's just no scene for it. There's no excitement to the game. It's like, okay, done. End of game. You know, fantasy used to be really hard thinking. You had to, your deployment was key. If your deployment was right, you had a disadvantage. If you didn't move a unit a certain amount of inches, that could have cost you a charge. You know, there was a lot more thinking to the game before this block army thing came out. And I like to see that multiple units of core, like, you know, 3 core units, slap on the table, a special, 2 rare, whatever. You know, have at least 6, 7. No, I like to see a minimum of like 8 standard choices on the table, plus, and then your wizards and core heroes, heroes and lords. It's just, the game is getting really repetitive. No matter what you played, it's all the same. No, there's no, the excitement has gone for fantasy. There's just no go for it now. It's just, it's like a CD player jammed on repeat. So that change will be a good thing. Another couple of things they could change. They could, what could they put? What else was it? Let's see if they could put in. Yeah, Apocalypse, like a version of fantasy, but Apocalypse, really big armies where you get really big things, like, you know, giant war machines and special units which only come out then, like, you know, like, think of history terms, like, you know, the Knights era, Knight Templars of England, you know, they were a rare unit in history. They only came out of dire need or in the Crusade, like rare special units which can only be used during that type of game. Things like that would evolve fantasy into a much bigger, a very, very big scene. I mean, the majority of fantasy players these days is America. America has, it's not massive, but it's a bigger scene than here in the UK. I mean, it's very hard to get a fantasy game in. I mean, I've never been to a fantasy tournament, but I would like to, but in this state and edition, not really. It's a game which needs an overhaul and redoing, and I'm not really fussed by these people saying, oh, you're killing the game, oh, it's going to be ruined. Change has always been good for games. I mean, look at 7th from 5th and 6th from 5th. They were dramatically changed. The principles of the game stayed the same, but they extended the game. They added so much more to it, so you weren't it wasn't so repetitive. It was great, you know. But I think a lot of this comes down to the bigger channels. No offense, guys, but you start reading these rumours on Bell of Lost Souls, Warseer, and so, and you put them out there, and then you start a panic. Everybody starts nerd raging, people start quitting the game and start selling their models even before the game has come out. I've seen loads of fantasy armies now go up for sale because nobody wants the new edition, but nobody knows what it's like. The sad part is, you could have ruined the game for some people, and this goes out to forums as well. Forum writers, why do you put up rumours which are not definitely true? No, okay, I understand. Like, you know, some of them, I can't remember which one does, actually says, don't take my word for this. This could be not true, which is right. But the way a lot of these people write the vlogs about what's going to change in the game, you make it sound as if it's, yes, it is definitely happening. This game is going to go downhill. No, I reckon it's not like that. I reckon fantasy, in my opinion, will be a better game, and I'm really looking forward to it. I reckon it'll be a more enjoyable game, and you know, it will attract, and I hope it does attract a younger crowd, because a lot of people play fantasy because there's no kids, but at the end of the day, they're just fucking kids. They're taking an interest in the game as just well as you are. You know, 40k ain't a basic game to fucking play. It does have its complexity to it. And it does, I fancy, take time to learn and play. You know, they're doing the same thing you are. Why can't you be happy? Like, oh, I don't want kids because kids are lame to play. Fucking hell, they're fucking little mind. How would you feel like if you was their age and somebody turned around and said that to you? You wouldn't be happy at all. You know, I'd be pretty offended and fucked off, but I just think, you know, come for the bigger players now. I think you need to come down off your high horse, accept the change, play the game, enjoy it, and if you don't like the new system after playing a couple of things, well, do as you please. Nobody's telling you you've got to play fantasy 9 or 8 or 7. Do what you want, but, you know, don't sit there and ruin it for other people, because it's not fair. It's not fair on the people who've been in it and who just play the game. They don't really follow the blogs or forums. Then they hear these rumours and you ruin it for them. Why don't ruin it for other people? Now, they may like the newer version. You may not, but everybody has their own opinions. But my honest opinion here, I want to see fantasy change. I want it. I want a different scene. I want more to the game. I don't want just charging, marching, magic. You know, it gets repetitive and it gets kind of boring, and you just lose interest very, very quickly. So that's my take on it, but others may have different opinions, yada yada yada, but I'm not really fussed. You know, you can slag me off all you want. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion, and if you don't like it, well, keep it to yourself. Because if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Because it's just ridiculous. You know, like Martin McNeil said, nobody's forcing you to play the game. At the end of the day, we all spend our time and money on this, and change does happen. But that's right, because at the end of the day, change happens all the time around you. Nothing in this world stays the same. So why can't you accept that for a game? You're playing model soldiers, not life or death. So just take it on the fucking chin, grow up, and accept it. That's what it is. You know, there's no argument to it. Some people to amaze me. The other thing as well is the argument of the progressive timeline. So like we're actually moving forward into the fantasy timeline. Another good thing, I'd actually like to see that with 40k, because I would like to see how it changes and how things react to it. You know, I think this would be a great idea, you know, because I think 40k that would work really well, because if you look at 40k, armies on the verge of extinction. First off is Eldar, then I think Tower next. The Tower, one of the small colonies. There would be such an interest in that, because you could do. That would set up so many different types of campaign games ready for people to play. There's so much you can add to it. Why does the story always have to be stuck in one place? I like the sound of that, and I hope they do that 40k, the progressive timeline. But that's my opinion. Nobody else may like it, but that's me. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the how can I call it now? What's the word for it? Codex hype. Now, another argument which occurred to me, I think just before Christmas, it came up in a discussion, and it's all about the codex hype. Now, the codex hype is just for the codex creepers. There are people who want to play the game, to collect, to play, and enjoy the game. Then there's people who just want to get in the game, buy what's best, best codex, best models, and win every game. I think they're called codex creepers. they are basically, my opinion is, they have brought a bad taste to the game, because what you'll find is, I go to Firestorm Games once a month, and whenever you play against me new, you will notice that a lot of the time, when I go there each month, there's a new army out. A gang of them will all have the new army with the exact same army lists, almost written over, and they're called power gamers. They're only there to win it. Now, I played against 2 power gamers in a tournament, and they were fucking arseholes. You know, I one-turned this Eldar player who apparently spent 6 years making this list, which apparently was unbeatable and he's never lost a game. I one-turned killed him. He had everything in reserve. He just chucked down a couple of Reef Guard on the table, told him objective, and I killed him. I killed him right off in the first turn. And he went ballistic. And the next day, he said, oh, this is the last time I'm playing my Eldar, because I think it was the time of Dark Angels were coming out. I can't really remember what 40k army was coming out by that time. He was, I'm just going to buy Dark Angels codex, copy somebody's high tier list off the internet, and make it. And yeah, that's all good and fun if that's your thing, but it kind of ruins the game for some, because before all this codex sweeping came out, and this is going back about 4 years, there was still codex sweepers, but it wasn't a major problem as such. You always had a mixed game. It was always different people with, you know, you could have play 6 people in a row with Eldar, but all of their playing styles would be different. But now, if you play against Eldar, now the playing style, it's very very generic. You know, it's nearly identical to the previous guy you played and the guy before that, and it puts a giant downer on the game. You know, I hate it. It ruins the game for me. There's no fun enjoying it anymore. You know, I think, to be honest, it's kind of killing the game now. It's because I like, as many as other people I know, they hate playing against the same sort of armies all the time. That's why I got 2 40k armies with a possibility. Well, I can make any build with both my armies, but I have 6 lists I tend to stick to, and I update them quite often. I make changes to them, and that, but they're always different. You know, there's nothing generically the same. It's when Guard for 6 first came out, the only thing I could play against other with Guard players was the parking lot list, and Jesus Christ, wasn't that fucking boring. It was so mind-numbingly repetitive. Every game I played, parking lot, parking lot, parking lot, parking lot. Nobody has the inspiration to go out and build their own armies. Go, oh, this unit looks good, I may go out and try this unit. No, they don't. They're just like, I'll just copy somebody else's list and play with that, because it was in a tournament, it won, so I must win. You know, it's all good you copying an army list, I can do that, but there's no guarantee that you're going to win with that army, because it's their own list. You know, I like putting some of my lists out there. I used to put them up a lot on blog, and I got some really good feedback on them, but I was always making new ones. I was always trying out different things, different types of lists. I mean, I got Rough Riders. I love Rough Riders. Nobody I know, I've never met another guy player with Rough Riders. Rough Riders are a great, quick get-in assault unit for taking out pain in the arse units. Nobody plays this. It's all repetitive. If you go against Chaos Space Marine Army of Black Legion, you'll find, let's say that Codex came out tier, came out brand new, you'll find lists identical, near enough, with identical playing styles, because everybody's copying each other. There's no inspiration to build your own list, paint your own models. It's all it's copy and pasting. This game is coming to. Nobody wants to try anything anymore, and it's really starting to slow the game down. It's killing it, in a sense. But that's my opinion. So, what do you guys think on codex creepers and codex hype? I reckon it's a really bad thing for the game. I reckon every codex should be equal, which they are actually. Every codex is equal. It's just, it all depends. Now, anybody can take an old codex and win with it. It just takes the right mind and determination to do it. So that's my views on codex creepers. So guys, that's the end of this ramble. I got really nothing else to talk about. So thanks for watching. I hope you heard most of this. I don't know what the video quality will be like on this. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Please comment, like and share. And I'll see you in the next one. Toodles.